Hello everyone, welcome back to Simulated TC here for the final of the 3 races here at the Nurburgring Nordschleife. If you have missed any of the previous races this season, we've had 5 so far, please do go back and check them out. But we're here coming to what should be a brilliant finale to this second event of the season, with a very mixed up grid with all the cars on softs towards the very rear of the field, meaning we should see lots of action from everyone in this race, and maybe even some surprises, with the front row, well, the top 3 all being on hard tyres and the bottom 4 all being on softs. The field in theory is going to meet in the middle at some point, and we could see a lot of drama. So let's have a look at how they line up for race number 3 here at the Nurburgring Nordschleife. At the rear of the field for this final race of the event, we have Seb Mills. He finished last in race 1, last in race 2. He starts this one on the softs though, so could he make a charge through the field? Ahead of him on the grid is Dimitri Sotirakis in the Mercedes, looking to try and make his way into the points-paying positions. He will be on softs too, as will the car ahead of him, Charlie Goodrick, on soft compound tyres in his Renault. Another car looking to make lots of overtakes in this race, as well is Albert Asante. Last season he was known for using his softs in race 3, and it seems to be similar this season as he's done the same here. With just ahead of him Tyler Davison on the hard compound tyres in 15th place. It's going to be a tough race, quite possibly, for the British driver for Peugeot. Ahead of him we see Dylan Varstenberg in his very unique looking Alfa Romeo. He's on the soft compound tyres, as ahead of him, Lewis Francis is on the medium compound tyres. Dylan Varstenberg actually is the highest car starting on the soft tyres in this race, everyone ahead of him on mediums or hards. As next up we see Liam Jones. He is on the hard compound tyres, starting in that 12th position, just ahead of his teammate. Ahead of them we have an 11th place Adam Richardson. Started on pole for race 1, starts 11th for this one, he's on hard tyres too. As we say, the same is the case for the race 2 winner, Scott Sandover on hards, as is the driver that finished 2nd in race number 2 there, Andre Jamil, the Brazilian for Toyota, lining up in the 9th position. Now we make our way around to the final corner here. We have a bit of a gap in the field at the Nurburgring Nordschleife, where we then get around to the top 8 cars on the grid. First up here in 8th place, it is Adam Liu on the hard compound tyres, Matthew Lilly just ahead of him in the Tesla on medium tyres. And then ahead of him, it's the Alfa Romeo of Carlo Durante. He'll be starting race number 3 on the hard compound tyres, looking to just try and maintain as many positions as he can in this one, as many drivers towards the front of this field looking to do just that. Ahead of him, it is Jordan Fingal on the medium compound tyres, both Teslas on the medium tyres here. Ahead of Jordan, it is Morgan Hitchings. Morgan Hitchings on the medium tyres, as well as the highest starting driver on the mediums, because the top 3 are all on hard tyres here. And in 3rd position is Thomas Pierpont on the hards, trying to get his Honda onto the podium. Ahead of him on the grid, we see Adrian Tishy there, the Canadian, the winner of race number 1, starting on the front row again here. Could he get in the mix once more? Very possible, but on pole position, looking to try and add to his very low points tally so far this season, Elmarie Sarlo will lead us away on the hard compound tyres for BMW in race number 3. The cars are on the grid then, and we are racing here at the Nurburgring Nordschleife, and it's a good start from both of the drivers on the front row. Pierpont with a slightly slow start there from 3rd position, but he's held onto the position as they make their way through the first corner here. Hitchings having to defend from Carlo Durante already, as that's Matthew Lilly in the mix as well here as they head down through these first few corners of this race. Just 2 laps around on this very long lap here, and that is Matthew Lilly getting up a spot there over Carlo Durante. As Lilly is on those medium tyres, Durante on the hards. Immediately a difference in grip there between those 2 drivers. Sandover has managed to hold on to his 10th position off the start. The same goes for Richardson, Jones and Francis just behind them. Dylan Varstenberg on those softs, still the top soft runner off the launch, and he's now looking to try and make some overtakes as quickly as possible. 13 cars to pass here if he wants to take this one, but he's got some drivers behind him, right behind him in fact, on the soft tyres, as Albert Asante and Charlie Goodrick are right on his tail. As we look towards the back of the field here, Tyler Davison already causing a bit of drama here as he's got his teammate behind him, Seb Mills on softs, as is Dimitri Sotirakis there in the Mercedes, but the Mercedes is going to get the move done down the inside, and that's very important moves there being made as Dylan Varstenberg has got ahead of both Subarus now. He's up into the 12th position. Next up for him will be Adam Richardson in 11th, the man who started race number 1 on pole position and is our reigning champion. Still yet to get a win this season here as we look into the top 7 places. Matthew Lilly in 6th here, Morgan Hitchings just ahead of him in 5th place in that DS. In the top 4 positions, we've got Fingal, Pierpont, Tishy, and Elmarie Sarlo for now leads this race for BMW as they head in to this very tricky braking zone here. And that looks like that's Carlo Durante side by side with Adam Liu battling their way through there. Looks as though Liu has got the move done there on the Alfa Romeo. Liu is on the hard tyres, as is the Alfa Romeo of Durante, so perhaps a sign there that the Renault, dealing with its harder to compound tyres, slightly better than its rivals. As there we see that is Vastenberg already up past Richardson now as well. Goodrick is ahead of Asante as well, both of those drivers on soft tyres. They'll be worth keeping an eye on, as Goodrick has got clear of Liam Jones as well here. Now we have Albert Asante trying to make a similar manoeuvre around the outside in his Toyota, trying to make it happen here. Looks like he's got it done though. Good stuff there from the Toyota driver on those soft tyres, making moves as quick as he can. Dimitri Sotorakis will be looking to do the same now as they head through the next few corners, trying to make a move there. We see that's Adam Richardson now been passed by his teammate Charlie Goodrick. Obviously didn't put up too much of a fight there for his teammate, as now I'll give Albert Asante a chance to look at the inside of the Renault driver. Side by side behind, it looks like Dimitri Sotorakis battling away with Liam Jones through there, and he does get the move done just about, as Liam Jones takes a lot of curb there, and now we can see Asante is right on the tail of Adam Richardson through this next part of the lap. The Toyota showed incredible race pace in races 1 and 2 here today. Could they do it again here? They had a podium, well, they had first place in race 1, second place in race 2. Can they get a trio of podiums? You'd have to say it's very possible here. Asante's pace, you'd imagine, to be in the mix. The question is, can he make the moves here to get past some of these slower cars? Because at the moment, that Sotorakis down the inside on soft tyres, and it's actually Asante losing a place, but now we can have a look back down the inside. Can he make the move stick? He's going to give it a go, and he looks like he's got the advantage here. Sotorakis will have the inside line. He's going to put it to good use there, as Richardson being a bit of a block in the road there, and that is going to allow Sotorakis not just to get Asante, but also to get Richardson as well in that Renault. The Mercedes making some moves here after starting the season as one of the weaker cars, seemingly. It's starting to show some speed in this race, as now we see that Scott Sandeva in 9th place, racing side by side with Andre Jamil. Those two that did battle for race number 1 there, side by side behind Dylan Valstenberg, trying to get the mix. A big slide there for Sandeva, knocks Jamil a little bit wide of that corner. That's going to allow Valstenberg to get down the inside, but Valstenberg in his mirrors has Charlie Goodrick also on soft tyres, looking to try and take his first career win in Simulated TC. But Andre Jamil is hanging tough there as they head through this very high speed part of the lap, on the limit of grip, on the limit of tyres. As they head through here, the drivers absolutely side by side. As they head through here, you can see them oh so close to touching as they head through that little kink there. Valstenberg with the inside line now. That should be enough for him to get this move done, as Goodrick is going to follow him through as they head up to this next few corners. Very high speed still all throughout this part of the lap. Could that give Goodrick's Renault a chance to fight back? Quite possibly, but as we look towards the front here, we have Matthew Lilly on the back of Thomas Pierpont, really putting the pressure on him as Jordan Fingal is on the tail of Adrian Tisci and race leader Elmarie Solo for now. Whilst he continues to lead the way and he's not under too much pressure, it is still relatively close here at the front in this lead trio, as the top two on hards, Jordan Fingal on the medium tyres though, in his Tesla, looking to try and add to his career wins here in Simulated TC. Morgan Hitchings having to look in his mirrors a bit here. Adam Liu's right on the tail of him as they head in to the carousel here for the penultimate time in this event. You can see a lot of drivers choosing to go on the banking, some of them taking a risk there. Valstenberg going all the way around outside there, and such is the grip advantage. He's going to make it stick, not quite able to do it, but he is going to stay alongside there, and that's going to give him the inside line, and with those soft tyres now, looks like he is just going to be able to complete the move on his teammate Carlo Durante. The two Alfa Romeos side by side now up through this next twisting part of the racetrack, and Valstenberg gets the move done there. That now puts 2 cars between him and his rival Charlie Goodrick at this stage of the race. As they head up through here, bit of a slide there from Liu. That could give Valstenberg a chance to have a look to the inside. He's going to give it a go as they head into this next corner. He's got the inside line, he's all over the inside curb, and he gets that move done there on Liu. The Renault dropping back now into 8th position. Morgan Hitchings now just ahead, and he'll be the next to have to try and pass here. This next part of the racetrack, quite a tricky part to pass on though. Very, very single line through that part of the track, and you can see Morgan Hitchings with a bit of a train behind him as there is some battling towards the rear of it between Sotorakis and Asante. Valstenberg, though, at the moment is right on the tail here. If he can get clear of Morgan Hitchings soon, he could get quite a sizable gap here, because there's several cars now between him and the next highest soft runner. This could be crucial moments of the race as they're still side by side there between Asante and Sotorakis as they head down through here. All of them getting held up greatly as they make their way through this sector of the racetrack. Sotorakis now is actually now the second highest car on soft tyres as he goes down the inside of Charlie Goodrick and Scott Sandeva and gets the move done. Good stuff from the Mercedes. That's great for his chances of a podium and maybe even a win in this one, as he now looks to try and make the next move on Carlo Durante. And after him, it'll be Adam Liu, with Morgan Hitchings still, for now, holding up this group of cars. as they head around the Nordschleife for the first of 2 times here in this race. Goodrick now looking a little bit aggressive there behind the back of Sandover, but also looking aggressive there. That's Dimitri Sotorakis going around the outside of Carlo Durante here, trying to make this move stick. Can he do it? Carlo Durante on those hard tyres will be struggling a little bit here. Liu just ahead of them as well could play a factor in this battle, as still Vostenberg looks to be stuck. Behind them, that's Goodrick and Asante battling away with Seb Mills, who's caught up to this group as well here. All of these drivers on soft tyres, oh so close to each other here. They know how important it is to get through the field, but equally if they don't get overtaking these cars as soon as they possibly can, they're going to end up finding it hard to actually reel into the race leaders here. As finally, you can see Vostenberg has cleared Hitchings. Sotorakis next up to try and achieve that. Liu now behind. Looking behind him, you can see that's Charlie Goodrick, his teammate, trying to make the move down the inside and does get onto the banking there whilst his teammate runs out wide. That's going to give Goodrick the position. He's up into 9th position here, and the straight should be the strong part of the lap there for the Renault, but he has a Peugeot behind it, which may be even stronger through there as the drivers make their way on to the back straight for the first time today here. And the race, as it stands, is Salo leading ahead of Tishy and Fingal, but this pack of cars looks like it could change at any moment. As they head onto the straight, they're all so close to each other. The cars that perhaps are stronger in the corners, if they haven't been able to use their advantage to make the overtakes, they're going to pay the price now. And as they head onto the straight, it looks like it's going to be 3 wide here. As we look further up the field, we can see the battling is continuing on, but Hitchings just ahead there, and with the top speed of the DS is able to stay ahead. But Goodrick is going to get the move done on Sotorakis by the looks of it. They're still side by side though. Seb Mills are hanging in there, but as we look towards the front, Tishy is shadowing Elmarie Salo as they head through towards the kink now. Salo leads ahead of Tishy, then it's Fingal in 3rd place. Pierpont in 4th, just ahead of Matthew Lilly, but Matthew Lilly is having a look here to try and take that 4th position away from Vostenberg in 6th position now. He's got a lot of moves done on this opening lap, but he's got a few more to do here. He wants to try and get a win in race number 3 as they battle their way into this tricky braking zone now. Vostenberg making up huge amounts of time in the braking zone there as Sotorakis gets the move done on Hitchings. That is Mills and Goodrick side by side there. Goodrick down the inside. Looks like he's going to get his manoeuvre done nicely there, and now Seb Mills will be the next to try and pass the DS of Morgan Hitchings, which is proving once again to be a tricky car to overtake here, as behind them you see Liu and Asante. Asante, has to be said, losing a little bit of time here in the battling, as Seb Mills is going to get the move done here on Hitchings down into turn 1 of lap number 2, gets it done nicely, as behind Asante now is the next up to try and make some passes here, but it has to be said, not having the greatest of races so far on those soft compound tyres, the Toyota, not the best overtaking car, and that is being shown off here at the moment. As now we can see that's Andre Jamil battling further down the field, and the field towards the back. A lot of these drivers here, drivers who have contended at the front of races 1 and 2, now find themselves contending for the very last couple of points on offer here. At the moment they're going to the likes of Sandover, Jamil and Carlo Durante in that group there. As now we see that's Albert Asante making the move down the inside of Adam Liu. He's going to get it done by the looks of it. The soft tyres proving to be a comfortably superior tyre through there. And that's where the Toyota does make its big gains. As now we can see that side by side. Goodrick's to the inside of Sotorakis. This is to be the 2nd highest car on the road on soft tyres. He's going to get down the inside here. They're going to be oh so close through this very high speed right-hander as they get to the crest of the hill. Behind them, Seb Mills looking to try and take advantage as well here. And you can see this battle could be crucial for the podium positions and maybe even the race win here, as they are still side by side, and ahead of them you can see that looks like Fingal was looking to try and make a move on Tishy as well for 2nd position in this race, as he is on those medium tyres compared to Tishy's hards. And now look at that, that's Goodrick switching to the inside to try and make his way past Pierpont. He's not quite able to do it there. That's going to open the door up for Sotorakis to go around the outside as they head into this braking zone. Now this is where drama can unfold. Pierpont's gone a little bit wide. That's going to open the door up for Goodrick, and Goodrick gets the move down there. He just had that little bit more grip under braking. That stability allowed him to get the move done. As Vostenberg, meanwhile, has got up into 3rd position now, actually, and is already challenging the back of Tishy for 2nd here. He's going to have a look to the inside as they head up through this next part of the lap. He's going to brake a little bit later in the Alfa Romeo and use that soft tyre grip to get up into 2nd place now. And now with just 1 car ahead of him and they're on hard tyres, Vostenberg is in a good position now to potentially start to pull away out front here if he can get that next move done as quickly as possible, because still behind him, lots of drivers are holding up the other soft runners here, as that's Goodrick now ahead of Mills in that battle, with Sotorakis losing out a little bit as they got to the traffic of Pierpont. As now Pierpont, once again, will have to look in his mirrors at another car on the soft compound tyres. As Seb Mills, meanwhile, ahead, looking to try and make the move on Goodrick, and it looks like he has done just that. And not only has he done that, he's going to get past Matthew Lilley as well in that fight, and you can see there Seb Mills makes the moves when he needs to make them, and that will now make him the second highest soft tyre runner on the road here after starting dead last. His brother went last to first last time out in race 3 at Blue Moon Bay. Maybe, just maybe, Seb Mills can keep that going here. He's currently the second highest soft runner. He's got a lot of ground to make up here, but with that Peugeot running well so far, this could be an unlikely occasion where we see back-to-back last to firsts in the first two events of the season in race number 3s. But there is still Vastenberg ahead up the road and on those soft tyres. He will not be easy to pass here as Albert Asante now is on to the back of Soterakis. They're side by side here. Again, Pierpont proving to be a bit of a trouble for Soterakis because again he holds him up and again he's going to cost him a position here. That's Albert Asante into 8th position. Behind him now it is the Honda of Pierpont followed by the Mercedes of Soterakis now as we have a new leader. That's Dylan Vastenberg. He's gone through to the front. Vastenberg leads this race here with just over half a lap to go in this one. We're about 3/4 of the way through this one now, and that is Vastenberg in the lead of the race ahead of Elmarie Sarlo. In third place, Adrian Tishy just clinging on there behind him. Jordan Fingal trying to take advantage of his medium tyres, but on the softs there, flying down the inside is Seb Mills as he gets the move done. As now we see Matthew Lilley having to defend from Albert Asante here. Tesla versus Toyota, side by side there. You can see a little bit of contact between the two cars. The Tesla, a much heavier car, has the weight to throw around and will hold on to that position for now. Soterakis liking this, he's finally got clear of Pierpont to try and get in the mix as well here, as Lilley continues to hold off the Toyota of Asante through this part of the lap. But as we look towards the front of the field, Seb Mills now is on the back of Elmarie Sarlo here. BMW versus Peugeot, hards versus softs. The battle is surely going to go only one way here, and Seb Mills is going to look to the outside line here. It'll become the inside eventually here, but it may not even need to do that because he's got the sheer power to get around the outside and up into second position here. Now just one position between Seb Mills and an incredible last to first challenge here after his brother did it just a couple of weeks ago there as Goodrick goes down the inside of Pierpont. They're still side by side now as you can see them battling their way through here. Goodrick versus Fingal versus Goodrick here. The Teslas battling on. There is a little bit of grass clipped there by Charlie Goodrick as they continue to go side by side here. And now into the braking zone, you can see the ground made up by Goodrick there. A little bit of a slide, but it's going to keep him up into that 5th position with Adrian Tishy, the next one up the road there in the Toyota on those hard compound tyres. He's going to have his work cut out for him here to try and stay ahead of this Renault with still half a lap to go in this one. Jordan Fingal completely misses the carousel, and that's going to be costly as Lilley gets pushed out of the carousel behind. And that is going to allow Asante to finally get that move done in his Toyota. The Tesla dropping back there. Soterakis struggling as well to keep his car on the banked part of the carousel as now Albert Asante is into that 7th position, and with Goodrick not too far up the road here, still has a chance of a podium position here, as these drivers on soft tyres have that really as the ambition at minimum really, as at the moment Vastenberg and Mills at the front, both on soft tyres. They've cleared the entire pack. They're looking good here to finish 1st and 2nd, unless we see something strange here in the final stages of this race now. As you can see, that is Albert Asante on the back of Jordan Fingal, pushing him hard, trying to get the move done. Through this part of the lap, it is very tricky to get a pass done. The Tesla, a very wide car, as he's already found out when trying to pass Matthew Lilley, it's not an easy car to get past, and it looks like it could well be a similar situation here as they sort of 2 by 2 through this part of the lap now, as we see Goodrick stuck behind Goodrick stuck behind Tishy, then we have Asante stuck behind Fingal, and Lilley holding up Soterakis there as well in this fight. And you can see this group of cars all breaking away now from Pierpont in 10th, Hitchings in 11th. Then we've got Liu, Sandever, Durante and Jamil running up the top 15 as things stand here. As you look towards the back of the field, Tyler Davison is in his own postcode at the back of the pack. Nowhere near anyone else in this race. On hard tyres, starting near the back, perhaps an inevitability there, but his teammate's in 2nd, so at least he's got that to know that the car is indeed fast here. So there's always some light to keep an eye on here. As we look now further up, you can see Fingal now has been dropped by Albert Asante, as now Goodrick is now going to feel the pressure here because he's getting held up by one Toyota with another Toyota hungry behind him there. It's Tishy ahead of Goodrick, followed by Asante at the moment in these battling positions. Elmarie Sarlo not far up the road there in 3rd place at the moment, and that is the position they're all aiming for in this group. But Seb Mills for now keeping Vastenberg in sight towards the front of the field here, And that Peugeot is not slowing down anytime soon and is trying to reel in that race leader. For now, though, as Tishy continues to hold up Charlie Goodrick, you would have to imagine Goodrick's top speed will be enough to get him past down the straight, but can he get Tishy and Salo on the straight? That will be a tough ask for him to make, and that could prove crucial in his chance of getting a podium here. But look at that, that's Albert Asante to the inside here as they head towards the second carousel. He's going to have the inside line, he's going to have the banked part of the racetrack. Surely that'll give him the move, not quite able to clear him as they head off the corner now. This is crucial for the final places on the podium. Salo on hards, Tishy on hards as well, and then it's two soft runners behind them in the Tesla and the Renault. Charlie Goodrick in that rocket ship Renault you'd expect to be quicker down the straight, but not too far behind them as well. You have the Mercedes of Dimitri Sotirakis. He wants to get in the mix as well as Matthew Lilley and Jordan Fingal there on medium tyres. A real range of cars battling it out for this final place on the podium. Goodrick already now using that power to his advantage. He's going to clear Tishy as they head down the back straight. Will it be enough for him to get up into third place though, as they get closer and closer to that final part of the lap? We're about halfway down the straight now, and Goodrick is continuing to charge forward. He's alongside with Salo, and if he can just stay there by the braking zone, he'll have a good chance at keeping this position. Because of the grip he has on those soft tyres under braking, it will be night and day, but it looks like he's cleared him. He has indeed. Goodrick is up into third position now. He's going to be pulling this pack towards the final corners of this race, as it's side by side between Salo and Tishy for that fourth and fifth position. Behind them, Albert Asante on softs trying to make a move as they head through here for the final time today. Dylan Farstenberg in that bright pink Alfa Romeo is going to come around the final corner for the final time there. He made the moves quicker than anyone else could, and he is going to take victory in race number 3 at the Nurburgring, and second place goes to Seb Mills there in his Peugeot. Third place will go to Charlie Goodrick. Albert Asante has cleared those two cars ahead of him, and he gets fourth at the final part of the lap. Behind them, you see Tishy, Salo, Fingal, Sotirakis, Lilley and Hitchings rounding out the top 10 in this race, or at least it seems like that will be the case, as they're quite a way back here from this lead group. Hitchings through the final corner now for the final time in his DS. Pierpont, Liu, Hitchings played important roles in the battle for the win in this one with their individual attempts to hold up the cars behind them, and they come home with some points to celebrate there. Carlo Durante just getting on Roger Mill at the line by the looks of things. And here we have the official results then for race number 3 at the Nurburgring. The win going to Dylan Varstenberg there ahead of Seb Mills. Charlie Goodrick in third position there. Seb Mills so nearly managing to do a last to first challenge. Charlie Goodrick there in third ahead of Albert Asante, Aaron Tishy in fifth place. Both Toyotas not quite getting the podium in race number 3 like they had in races 1 and 2, but fourth and fifth still a good result for them. Elmarie Salo in sixth place there ahead of Jordan Fingal. Dimitri Sotirakis in eighth place. Now for his Mercedes on soft tyres, fell behind a couple of cars that were on mediums and hard tyres, but still not too bad for him. There were a lot of traffic to get past in that race. Just outside the top 8 we had Matthew Lilley and Morgan Hitchings. Lilley on the mediums, Hitchings on the hard compound tyres. Hitchings on the mediums as well there. Pierpont in 11th place there, just ahead of Adam Liu. Behind Liu we have Scott Sandover and Adam Richardson, with Carlo Durante just barely taking the final point on offer from that race, with Andre Jamil dropping down to 16th in the end after starting the event with a podium position. Not quite how I imagine he would have wanted it to go in the end, but not too bad for him. Just behind them and missing out as well on points, Lewis Francis and Liam Jones, two Subarus, which seem to be pretty much stuck together wherever we go. They seem to be right next to each other on track all the time, and also just missing out Tyler Davison in his Peugeot with a distant last place finish. So that's it then for the Nürburgring Nordschleife. I do hope you all enjoyed it. It has been an entertaining event. I hope you'll agree. Next time out, we shall be going to a very different circuit, but that could be anything when it comes to the Nordschleife. Lots of things are very different to it, but we, in more specific terms, will be going to Lago Maggiore for our third event of the season. I do hope you'll join us again in a week's time for that then. Thank you very much for watching. Until next time, goodbye.